ladies and gentlemen, here in the top left-hand corner of the map in Diga Shipyard, we have our red Zerg player from EG Raid Call. It is Jaedong. His opponent down here in the bottom right-hand corner from LGIM is Lucira, our blue Zerg player, taking the last game and putting his team just one game away from advancing into the finals.
ZVZ, man. Jaedong is pretty strong in it, but so is Lucira. Lucira, quite a beast when it comes to the matchup. Not as good as he used to be, but still a player that can wreck. I do enjoy seeing him play Muta. He seems to enjoy Muta a little bit more in ZVZ if he can get to that route. We did see him play a really strong Roach game, but I would like him to get back to his roots, man, and just go straight for Muta play. Do it. Straight up. Just go for it. Off of one base.
I am 100% fine with that.
He can take the Goliath build.
Yes, that's right.
One base Muta. It's a base and a half, man. I expand while going to there. No, man, it's one base.
So the guy who is our operations manager, who you've seen him on Twilight Council and things like that, Adrian, he's also casted on this stream before, occasionally, is a Master Zerg player. And he makes cats look conventional. Let's put it that way. He does some very crazy off-the-wall strategies, which kind of break the metagame on ladder.
Yeah. He told me it was Masters like the first week I was here. I was like, oh, cool, man, sweet. Well, maybe we'll play some ZVZs. And then he was like, yeah, if you want, I'll show you my builds. And I'm like, wait, you have builds for ZVZ, man? Like, you build a 15 hatchery, and then you just impromptu from there. And he's like, no, man, I go straight to double gas to get my lair out, and then I throw down a hatchery afterwards. It's like a base and a half into Muta. I'm like, dude, no, that's one base Muta, straight up. You're a cheater. It's pretty hilarious, but yep, that's Goliath for you guys if you ever want to play him. But for now, it looks like we're gonna have a safe opening here for Jaedong. He went into his pool first into a hatchery, very similar to Stefano. Seems to be a bit of an EG thing. And then behind this, we have the Lucira playing greedy once again into hatch, followed into gas, and we'll do his pool.
Yep, same thing we saw last game, and worked out pretty well for him. Now, of course, a key component of this was that he was able to get in, get some early scouting information, get some early damage in and stuff like that. Wasn't quite the turn the tide sort of damage that gave him the critical advantage. We saw it was a very even game pretty much at every point up until I think Stefano was a bit cavalier in trying to attack into his opponent's third with that many roaches while trying to put on pressure at the natural. Had it been a situation where he ran in like 3 or 4 roaches, distracted and tried to get good fungals on the ramp and pressed into the natural, cool. That certainly could get some damage done. But unfortunately, he a bit overcommitted, lost a ton of roaches right there and was never able to recover.
I think he may have been fine. The thing was, at the same time, Lucira had about 4 or 5 roaches headed to the top left third. And so we saw, I think Stefano bring like 12 or 13 of his roaches to deal with those 4 or 5. If he had those 13 roaches with the push in the natural, maybe he would be able to muscle his way on in. But at that point, no. With the fungals from Lucira, then of course just a natural engagement, Lucira's going to take that every time. So
yes.
A nice little ploy there from Lucira to get a couple roaches at the top right corner, and Stefano just overcommitting a little bit, weakened his push.
All right. Well, we'll see now what both players are going to be up to. Is Jaedong just checking for any overlords sitting around the top left-hand corner? None to be found, though. And Lucira gunning it for an evolution chamber, it appears. Yeah, very quickly there. And we'll see what he does with that. If it's just going to be that +1 missile attacks and just decides to switch up the way he approaches roaches.
I'm really expecting it.
Roaches. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it might be +1 Carapace. No, it's going up in the +1 range. Interesting. It's just really early here.
Yeah.
So it potentially, if Jaedong just went for a really strong Baneling push, he could kill him off right now. You never see an evolution chamber that early. And that's why we have it hidden in the main. That way it's going to be pretty hard for Jaedong to go ahead and scout it without fully committing to a couple of lings running on by. But still, if you get that +1 out and you get to the mid game with that +1, you start up +2, suddenly you have a very strong timing push around about 11 minutes that you can just wreck through your opponent. So we'll see how it goes. It's a bit of a gamble, but so far from the builds, it looks like Jaedong's going to play defensive and Lucira's going to get away with it.
Yeah, and Lucira's going to show a little bit of strength here. All he's going to do is get out on the map and be like, I made these 8 Zerglings. My speed's done quicker than you. You have to react now. And all he wants to do is pin Jaedong in a little bit. He wants to make sure that he doesn't get aggressive, because if Lucira doesn't show anything right now, doesn't move Zerglings on the map, doesn't take map control, then there is going to be a situation where he's, where Jaedong's going to feel that he has the ability to get out on the map and do some damage.
Yeah, he's essentially peacocking right now. Just showing his chest here, like, hey, look, be careful, man. I do have my lings, and they're going to run straight into the natural here. A couple of banning going to be created as well. Just trying to make him sit back and play defensive, as Kevin was talking about earlier. We do have the link darting its way, though, straight into the natural here for Jaedong. Will get on in if you want to look really quick. And it's going to dart into the main. Will he see his evolution chamber? No. He just runs straight into the main, and he actually doesn't even see the lair being queued up as well. He's unfortunately too busy dealing with the links that were at his natural. And Lucier's fine with it. I'm okay with losing my 6 links because I denied you information. You don't see all this happening.
Exactly. That's all he cares about. He wants to pin his opponent in. He wants to hit a very strong timing. You see how this is all lining up. We got about 30 seconds left on missile attacks level 1. It's going to be about 20 seconds before lair finishes up, but then he's going to be able to move into that +2 that you were talking about. Queue up a ton of roaches and go for a massive timing attack. Jaedong, on the other hand, though, go ahead, please.
He's going to start +2. And then immediately as soon as lair finishes up, he can start startup speed. All this timing is set up to have a +2 speed attack to just walk into your opponent and kill him. That's all it is here. He's should start at +2 now. He's going to have enough minerals to it for it very soon. And then I'll follow up into the speed, because normally you want to... I was looking at the timing, because normally you get your evolution chamber a little bit earlier before your lair, then you start at +1, and then you start at speed, and then you just have a +1 attack. But he's just going to have a really strong +2 attack. That's the whole plan behind this. It's really well synchronized. Sorry to cut you off, but I just like...
No, please.
Blew in my head there. I was like, wow, holy crap. He's just going... Yeah, it's just going to be speed +2. Really well done.
Well, there it is. And I would, with the amount of drones that he currently has on the map, I would not be surprised if it's just endless roaches very shortly after this. So we'll see here. He could decide to take a third behind this while he puts on pressure at the same time. But basically, he's got another 160 seconds before this is a go. Jaedong is expanding actively to his third base. He's got his infestation pit on the way. So if this waits too long, Lucier is at risk of running in at exactly the time when Jaedong finishes +1 and has his infestors popping out.
Yeah, we had an overload come into the main and did scout everything, but again, this could just look like a normal +1 timing attack.
It's too late to be able to pick up on that evolution chamber
Unless he saw a roach, and now he sees roaches outside of his natural, he'll see that they have +1, which is like, okay, that's a little bit early. My +1 is around like 70% done. He must have got that quicker, but already +2 is a little 50% done. So here we go. We have Lucera moving out across the middle of the map, more roaches on the way, moving into infestation pit, because he's going to start floating gas here with 4 gases at his main and natural. But wow, this timing tech is really smart from him. Yeah,
this could be a bit of an anti-timing though, or it could work out to be one if he runs smack dab into all of the spine crawlers that were established earlier. He certainly does have the stronger position at the moment though, and these follow-ups along with that +2 attacks, that's the real moment to go. If he tries to pressure before then, Jaedong is going to have a suitable defense prepared. Did he actually cancel those extra 3 spine crawlers? Oh no, that actually could have saved him, but now this is going to be hard to hold off.
Well, he's got Balians. If he can get a nice big hit off, it should be all right, but Lucier should be smarter than that, not to group up his roaches. So
yeah,
he's going to have the +2 pretty soon. He's still getting out a few more roaches, but with as many roaches that were made for Jaedong to kind of substitute, or to kind of subsidize the +2 that Lucier has, he has to get more roaches out, which means less drones going to be at that third. So Lucier gets a small win there, just kind of non-discreetly.
Yeah, all right. So he is making a considerable amount more roaches. What is the total countdown right now? 28 to 28, but a pretty considerable advantage at the moment for Lucera, who does now have that +2 finishing in 10 seconds.
All right, and the infestor's about to pop out as well. They're going to have the fungals available. If Jaedong did commit to that attack, Lucera would have crushed it. Good thing Jaedong did pull on back, and behind all this is going to be getting his drones out as well. So at this point, we just now have Jaedong moving into his +2, which means Lucera can get +1 carapace, and actually there it goes right away. At this point, just focus on getting that third nice and droned up, grab your 5th and 6th gas, and just keep up with the infestor production right now. And try attacking within the next minute. You want to hit before +2 does completely finish for Jaedong.
Okay, well, let's see if he tries to get some damage done. It looks like he is going to split up his roaches temporarily there for a second, then pulls back around towards home. So Jaedong has done a very nice job of macroing himself, even though he doesn't have those earlier upgrades. We can take solace in the fact, of course, that he has produced a very nice defense. And don't forget, in the midst of all of this, he did establish his third much faster than Lucera did. Lucera only just now got his saturated a couple of seconds ago. You can see that only 40 gas has been taken from this extractor versus the 100 that has been taken out of these. So so there is a little bit of an advantage there for Jaedong, who has been able to utilize that production for a little bit longer. Yeah,
it's like 120 gas there, which is essentially 4 more roaches. So really helps out there for Jaedong. Jaedong now grabbing map control, as Lucera is going to be waiting around here, getting a few more infestors out. And Jaedong has had this one overseer constantly just floating around the main, the natural, just constantly scouting over and over again. I think he lost one and then created another overseer again. This is really intelligent. Just constantly keep up with that, guys, because you can keep a good count of how many roaches are on the field, and you can also catch roaches popping out as well out of your opponent. You can also see if any crazy tech might be thrown down. Hydras now on the way for Jaedong.
Yeah.
moving up into the normal lair tech that you'll see.
This is another scary moment for Jaedong, though, because if Lucira goes pretty soon with his +1 Carapace, he's still going to have that one upgrade advantage, and his opponent's not going to have those Hydras quite on the field yet. So we're moving into moments again where things are going to be scary because of that earlier upgrade. However, if he delays, again, Jaedong's going to have the superior technology to fall back on and the superior economy, and is now double producing upgrades. So very quickly, that upgrade advantage is going to completely disappear for Lucira.
Alrighty, so Festers will be leading the charge moving forward. I want to try and land a really solid fungal and have Roaches just follow up into the attack. Both players just kind of shucking around, never really fully committing, just kind of, again, beating their chest left and right, saying, hey, if you engage, I'll engage, but never really doing so. Just really staying on top of moving up in the upgrades as mentioned. Hydra's now popping out for Jaedong 7. Now 8 at a time will be coming out very soon. A huge fungal though. We have a second huge fungal as well, and Jaedong might be stuck here.
Those were fantastic fungal growths. Huge groups of units caught there and there, locked down basically everything that Jaedong had. And +1 Carapace has finished up for Lucira, so he is carrying the upgrade advantage, and he just stomped that force in the front flat. And exactly the moment that I was talking about before, just before the Hydras showed up. And they're of no use now.
Yeah, he has to retreat, and you're right, they are of no use. They can't engage. He has to wait for more roaches to pop out. He has 20 coming out right now of all the larvae. They need to get in front of these Hydras if possible. The good thing for Jaedong is he didn't really commit too crazily to fungals there. So he has fungals left over for the Hydras to try and make a cost-efficient trade if he can outrange his opponent. But the Hydras are behind. Oh, they're behind the Infestors. They can get caught here. The Roach is charging straight forward, and you cannot lose Hydras like that.
That's right, and they're still off to the side, so the Hydras are going to get taken out first. And even though our players are on even upgrades in this engagement, Lucira is bringing the vast majority of forces to bear here right away. He's even got reinforcements gathering up in the middle of the map that he hasn't even bothered to bring to the front quite yet because, well, simply he hasn't had to.
Well, Roaches will pull back and wait for some reinforcements here. Maybe do some burrow micro if need be. Now moving straight back in as the reinforcements do get here. We have Jaedong trying to expand on the top right corner, but that will not be happening whatsoever as the Roaches again just moving forward. We'll be taking out one more Roach and a little bit of dancing here from Lucira, kind of just flaunting, saying, you know, I kind of got this game down in the bag. And now jumping back on top of these Roaches. Jaedong doing his best. 15 more Roaches on the way on out, but it is just too much. Lucira has Roaches in the natural of his opponent.
That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Lucira may very well have broken the pattern that we had so far and successfully taken 2 games in a row from Evil Geniuses. And Jaedong is trying to hold on for dear life, but it looks like that LGIM is going to be your first representative into the finals of the IPTL.
Congratulations, man. Well done there by IM. Jaedong GGing out.
Yeah, so there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Jaedong is down. IM wins 5-3, and they advance into the finals to play the winner of Startail versus MVP.
Yeah, nice little matchup there between the two players. I really liked Lucira's opening. It was a bit of a gamble, but it was a gamble that really paid off there. You just saw him having such a great advantage in upgrades and was able to trade pretty efficiently. All you got to do is land a couple of fungals, and suddenly you have no problem engaging your opponent. So really well done from Lucira. Very solid game from him, and unfortunately didn't work out for Jaedong. Sad because I wanted a Game 9. I
know, we all did really, but still, congratulations to IEM. Congratulations to EG. They made it into the semifinals of the Premier Division. They'll be there next season, but IEM is going to advance to play the winner of MVP versus Startail, which, as we mentioned, will be cast tomorrow. So get ready for that, guys. It was wonderful casting for you guys in an 8-game set. Very enjoyable. Follow the IGN Pro League on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube is at IGN Pro League on any of those sources. You can follow us personally. I'm at Kevin Naki. He's at IPL Robin.
That's right, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, congratulations to LGIM, and we can't wait to see them in the finals. But with that, that's the end of the broadcast. Thanks a lot, guys.